I look like a cone-headed Shih Tzu, but I still look cute though. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Thursday. I was feeling a little BB hungover this morning. I stayed up until 1 a.m. last night watching live feeds, which I know to some Big Brother fans is not late. I know, I used to stay up until like 4:30 in the morning watching live feeds, but me being a mom and being up hella early with Amelia, chasing after her all day, doing the mom thing, 1 a.m. is late for me. So I woke up this morning and I was like, oh my god, but I'm ready to do it again tonight because live feeds, it felt just so at home and amazing to be watching live feeds again. Like, I'm so happy. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about some of the things that were happening on live feeds last night and this morning. From my understanding, I'm pretty sure live feeds are down right now. I think they're probably either doing nominations or doing that secret room thing. I don't know, but they're up to something. So now is a great time to talk about some of the things that happened this morning and last night. So the first thing I want to get out of the way real quick is my opinions on the episode. I'm not going to go in depth because I did do a lengthy live last night with my full reactions, but I did enjoy the episode. It was really nice seeing all the house guests come in. It was fun seeing that competition. I thought it was hilarious that it kind of seemed like production was trying to break Christmas's leg again with that damn competition. I did think it was interesting that the production gave all the females the back corner of that puzzle thingy and all the men like the front section. Like, I thought that was a little iffy and a little weird, but it wouldn't be off-brand for production to pull some shit like that. I know Grodner loves her men and especially her Tylers and Codys of the world, so... But I did think it was a little sad that the girls had the harder portion of that puzzle thing, because that thing looked really heavy and I don't know if I would have been able to pull it off like that. Like, ooh, you know, especially Nicole. She did such a great job. She's so tiny. How did she maneuver that giant thing? I'll never know. And I did think it was really funny that Keisha, because she was the first in her group to go into the house, she full on swerved out of the first position that away because she knows that there is like a curse. The first person in is normally not there in the end, so she made sure to get out of that first position and she came in third. I thought that was hilarious. Go Keisha. So let's get right on into some of the things that were talked about last night on live feeds. First things first, I thought it was interesting that so many house guests expected Josh and Casey to be in the house. It was mentioned by Danny that Tyler thought that Casey was going to be there and he was surprised that she wasn't. I think that his face made that very obvious. But a bunch of other house guests also mentioned that they were expecting to see Josh and Casey. So I think it's safe to say that the two house guests that tested positive for COVID were probably Josh and Casey. I don't know that for certain, but I do know that they were partying it up in Miami like crazy a few weeks ago, so it wouldn't be surprising to me. I also know that Josh is in Beverly Hills right now, and that's just a little too coincidental for me. He was out at breakfast recently, I think it was yesterday or the day before. He posted on his Instagram, he tagged the location Beverly Hills, so I don't know. It was also mentioned, I didn't see this particularly on like live feeds myself, but Kyle, he did message me and he's like, oh my gosh, did you hear that the house guests had to go through bias training? I was like, what is that? I'd never heard of that before. I guess it's like training to help you realize, you know, maybe some undercover biases that you hold. I don't really know, but from what I understand, I think that's great. And I guess according to Danny, they went really in depth. Danny or Davon said, I don't remember which one, but one of them said that they went real in depth and like it was pretty hardcore and intense, which is great. I think that it, you know, if it makes people more aware, then let's do it. Another thing I wanted to mention, Davon did say that she does not like being called Mama Day. I knew this for a while. Like, I remember right before, it was probably mid-July, someone said that and another person tweeted at them like she hates being called that, blah, blah, blah. And so I became more conscious of that. But hearing Davon say it herself, like, it, you know, dead set, we need to stop calling her that. I didn't really ever call her that. I might have once or twice, but I don't really remember recently ever calling her that. But let's stop calling her Mama Day. She hates it, and that's that. So let's get right on into the juicy details. So Nicole Franzel, and I'm going to be calling her Franzel. Franzel and Danny, they ended up having a one-on-one conversation, and they kind of went in on Janelle and Kaser. They were talking about how they need to keep their eye on them, things like that. It's really, really hard to listen to Danny because she is a professional at whispering. Like, she is literally the best whisperer I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, I cannot understand a single damn thing that she is saying if she goes full whisper. Like, the second that she goes full whisper, you might as well change the feeds because you just don't know what the chick is saying. At one point, Nicole and Danny both mentioned that they ghosted Anthony, Nicole Anthony. So I'm going to be calling them Franzel and Anthony. I'm just letting you guys know right now. So Franzel and Danny both mentioned that they ghosted Anthony's podcast. Like, oh, you guys, like, that's not really nice. It's pretty catty. Like, how are you going to straight up admit that? I don't know. Do you realize that you're on live feeds? Like, you understand that Nicole Anthony won America's Favorite House Guest last year? Like, where are you? Where's your mind at right now? Like, it's really confusing. But so they basically admitted to having gotten an email from Nicole Anthony's podcast and asking them both to be on, and Nicole Franzel said that she didn't even open the email. Danny said that she did, she just never responded. The whole thing came across pretty catty, but we need to remember that Danny in her first season, she was pretty catty. Well, she's always been pretty catty, but I do enjoy Danny and I'm excited that she is on. But I think she needs to pump the brakes just a little bit on the Nicole Anthony hate train because it's getting a little much, you know, like, the girl is too nice. Let's pump the brakes. And apparently, Kaser asked David last night if he had experienced any racism on Big Brother 21. David went on to mention or to say that he didn't feel anything was overtly racist, but he did think that there was some, like, low-key biases happening. I don't know. He said that before, so it wasn't surprising to hear him say that again. I just hope that he kind of, I don't know. I don't know what it is with David. Like, I really want to like the guy. I want to support him. I'm happy that he's back on and he has a better chance at playing now. But he says stuff like that. It's just crazy to me. Like, but if that's how he feels, and then he can feel that way. I just hope he just stays aware. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he'll have any of those problems this season, though. Everybody that's there is a lot more mature, a lot less racist, and we love to see it. So let's talk about some of the stuff that happened this morning. So we got a Danny and Davon one-on-one chat in the purple room this morning, and I was living for it. I love to see it. Danny and Davon basically agreed amongst each other that they really enjoy each other, they really like each other, and they want to work together. Davon was mentioning how last night she had wanted to have that conversation with Danny, but with everybody going around getting to know each other, it was kind of hard to do, and so she wanted to take this time to throw that out there. Danny seemed to reciprocate it really well, and I really hope they work together, like, genuinely, because those are my two. Like, I really want them to make it to final two. I will cry if they don't work together and if they don't love each other, and like, I just really want them to be genuine. But on the flip side, and this is where I'm coming in next, Nicole Franzel, she is being shady. So last night, she was talking to Danny, like I said, and they basically agreed that they really like each other. They want to work together too. And this morning, Franzel went up to Cody's room and basically pulled this. Hey Cody, is my hair messy enough? Because I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure. Is my hair messy enough? So Cody, I was thinking that I'm going to, you know, get close with Davon and Danny and Christmas because that's the group that I came in with. And yeah, so I'll just get close with them and then I'll just come and tell you everything that they say. Does that sound like a plan? Like, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So that's everything that she basically said to Cody, and the whole time I was watching it, I was like, oh no, Nicole Franzel, like, why do you have to be so on brand with the Franzelness? Like, why do you have to be turning on the women already? Day 2, and you're already talking about ratting the girls out? Like, come on. It's too much. Like, Franzel, I just can't with you. I really like want to be excited that you are there, but then you say things like this and it just makes me mad at you, you know? Like, don't you turn on Davon, don't you turn on Danny. Like, those are the two I need you to not turn on and be shady towards, please. Baby Jesus in a Raider jersey. Can we just have a Franzel that can be loyal to women, please? So in her conversation with Cody, Cody did mention that he is considering putting Janelle and Kaysar, or no, he said Kaysar and Keisha up with Janelle as a third option. So if one of those two comes down, then Janelle goes on up next to the other person, and that is his plan so far. Nicole Anthony, she did go in there also and talk to Cody, but it was very friendly. She basically was asking him like what he's thinking, and he said that he has an idea of what he wants to do, but he's not sure, that kind of situation. So that conversation wasn't really anything to write home about, but Cody did tell Nicole Franzel that he is thinking Kaysar, Keisha, and then possibly Janelle. So he better hope that Janelle doesn't play in the power of veto, because she'll probably win because she is that bitch. And furthermore, I'm just irritated. Like, it's a good game move. Like, sure, get some of the older people out, like the older players out, the players who had to rely on actual gameplay and strategy as opposed to twists and advantages. Like, you want to get those players out because they played a much more organic game way back in the day where you didn't need all of these powers and advantages and things. So I definitely think it would be a good game move, but damn it, I like Kaysar and I love Keisha and I love Janelle. Like, wow. And finally, Kaysar and Danny ended up having a conversation in the purple room, and this was the last conversation that I saw that is really worth noting. After this, everybody was just kind of shooting the shit, but Danny and Kaysar did have a conversation. Danny told Kaysar that she really likes him and that he has nothing to worry about when it comes to her. He basically came across like, oh, that doesn't need to be said. Like, that's something that can stay unsaid because you and I have known each other for years. He mentioned that they hadn't talked for a number of years, but it's still like Gucci between the both of them. He didn't say Gucci, but you guys know what I'm saying. So that was their conversation. They seem to be cool with each other. They're not really going after each other. It kind of counters what Danny said last night to Franzel. She told Franzel, she was like, look, we gotta watch out for Janelle and Kaysar. Janelle and Kaysar are actually really keeping their distance. I don't even know if they genuinely want to work together. They might just be keeping their distance for show. I don't really know. I haven't seen them really talk very much. I know at one point Janelle did tell Kaysar that they need to not be seen together, so I get that for sure. They haven't had any conversations like game-wise or anything like that, so I don't know. Kaysar did tell Danny that they need to keep their eye on Cody and Tyler, which they absolutely do. Cody and Tyler are definitely working together. I do believe, but I didn't see it for myself, I do believe that Cody and Tyler did have a conversation talking about how they're going to work together. So those two are definitely the two to watch out for. Everybody is talking about how they love Tyler and he's so sweet and nice and all this, whatever. I don't know. Hey guys, so I feel like this is going to be a recurring thing. I'm editing and of course stuff happens, so I want to throw this in there real quick while I have the opportunity to. I guess during that break, it was revealed that there will be a competition that the house guests can choose to be a part of or not. There was a twist revealed, I think. I didn't see too much about that, but it does look like that Tyler is getting his claws and his ramen noodle head ass into the good graces of everybody. He's talked to Bailey, he's talked to Christmas, and he's talked to David. He's basically done a ride or die thing with all three of them. He told Bailey that he wants to ride it out with her. He told Christmas the same thing, and he literally told David the same thing. So he's going all over the place. I don't know who believes him. I don't know who's really with him, but he is making his rounds, and good for you, Taylor, or Tyler. Did I call him Taylor before? I meant Tyler. You guys know who I'm talking about. So that is my little update for now. I will probably post another video on Saturday because tomorrow on Fridays I go live on the TVco app, so I'll probably do a live feed update situation on there, and then on Saturday I'll have a update for things that are going on Friday night, you know, stuff like that. So make sure you are subscribed and you have your bell notifications on. That is very important. And what else? I mean, I guess that's it. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!